First, let's take a look at our political systems. If you enjoy free government with benefits of protection by the all-powerful English crown, then these colonies are right for you. Starting in Virginia, the House of Burgesses helps with all your law-making processes to ensure rightful representation in government. However, in North Carolina, we have a democratic freedom and autonomy from English control for even more freedom depending on whatever you feel like. Am I right? The beautiful colony of Georgia even provides extra protection and is used as a buffer, let's call it, between Spanish Florida and South Carolina. Finally, we've got Maryland, one of the best, most unique places because of it being a proprietary colony, which basically means total self-rule.
Now let's hop right into economics. In the southern colonies, we have a lot of agricultural plantations producing corn, soybeans, and mostly tobacco. If you like to fill your lungs up with smoke, this is the perfect state for you. In Virginia, the colonists were very poor until they started growing tobacco, which saved their lives and their money. And they also decided to grow cotton on large-scale plantations, self-sustaining plantations, so you don't have to pay for labor or the labor's food. In Jamestown, the colonists also decided to become friends with the American Indians so that they could trade jewels and corn for furs. But it wasn't that dependable, but we're kind of acquaintances now. In North Carolina, the self-sufficient tobacco plantations are going well, and we have rice, sugar, and indigo plantations also. The state produced a lot of wealth for the rest of the southern colonies. We're all like a big family, except for the slaves. And in South Carolina, it has drained rivers and lakes, which enriched the fishing industry. The temperature has made a perfect place for year-round farming, as well as making New North Carolina a lumbering state, as well as South Carolina. The positives are the 60s, low tobacco prices cause an overpopulation, but they also brought hard times on Maryland and Virginia. But that didn't mean they didn't bring the money and the cash in and the smoke for your lungs. If you have an addiction, this is the place for you. And if you want money, this is the place for you. Now let's hop right into
In the southern colonies, the social structure consisted of plantation owners who would normally grow cash crops and such that would then benefit towards trading, small farmers who would then grow crops necessarily for their family to provide or sell in markets. Thirdly, we had landless whites who did not own any land at the time and would mainly work as merchants. Lastly, or second to last, we had indentured servants who would work at max of 5 to 7 years while they were paying off their debt. Lastly, we have African American slaves who spent their life in bondage towards labor in the South and were not freed at this time. Social life in the southern colonies is based on a strict social class system. Activities vary for those colonists who are wealthy versus those who are now coming. Life revolves around the large plantations and farm life. Plantation owners' homes are the hubs of social activities. All are welcome, but make sure your work is done because agriculture is the key to these colonies. A common activity that most enjoy is hunting deer, foxes, rabbit, and fowl. The southern colonies are for everyone. We not only have cultural diversity, but also have religious tolerance, so all are welcome. Inclusion is something that we are the best at, so forget about poverty and race. The goal is to better our place. We have highly successful settlements and get to enjoy the luxury of trading with England. The land is perfect for up-and-coming cash crops such as tobacco, rice, indigo, and cotton, with an abundance of slaves and indentured servants ready to work. We are the land of opportunity. so why not be a part of it? So what we are trying to say is that the South is very practical, beneficial, and has superior colonies. Other regions have a lack of labor. There aren't enough workers that can produce crops and goods. Also, most colonies, such as Pennsylvania, are not religiously tolerant, denying Christianity, which is frowned upon and is sometimes considered a crime. Most farms in the North do not have productive, fertile soil for growing substantial crops. Also, the farms are smaller, which makes for a lack of crop production.